Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is your man HRap coming at you live and direct. Oh my God, I should brush my hair. I brush it at the break. Um, as usual, this is the End of the Bench podcast. We are on Built for This Network, and AT&T is pissing me off already. And this is a podcast. I tell you every week this is a podcast. The reason I tell you this is a podcast is because every week I have somebody tell me, "Hey man, I missed your show." Cannot miss my show. It's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm coming at you live and direct from Late Rent Loud Music Studios. We're going to have a good time. And as usual, this is on Built for This Network. Built for This Network, go to Spreaker.com, pull up Built for This Network. Please hit the subscribe button. As you hit the subscribe button, please hit the like and share. Tell a friend to tune in. You can always catch me on the End of the Bench 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, not only on Spreaker.com. You can always catch me at Spreaker, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, and Podcast Addict. Those are the places you can catch it. If you have to leave early, you can stop, pick up right where you left off at, or whatever you want to do, however you want to play it, you can play it that way. So please, stop telling me you missed my show because you just don't feel like watching it, and that's cool too. Now, as usual, I have to give homage to the people who helped me get here. It is a tradition, it's an African tradition to pay homage to your family and your ancestors. The reason you do that is because if you send respect up to them, they'll send blessings and protections down to you. Anytime you're publicly speaking, you should do as such. Everybody that's connected to the Pollard family, the Turner, Battle, Cotton, Harper, Bailey, Chris, Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan, and everybody know me, my mother, my brother, my brothers, my sisters, my father, nieces, nephews, cousins, and children are part of the Williams clan, and we are always in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hitting that like button, please. If you are on YouTube at the End of the Bench, THAENDOFDABENCH, that is the End of the Bench. I need you to hit that like button. It is imperative that you hit the like button because we're dealing with the people and the man trying to hold it back. And I need to be part of that algorithm to get that paper. And if I get that paper, it's over. But it would just be nice if you did it. Now, it's been an interesting week, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a very interesting week. We have some controversy, as always. It is always something controversial. If you live in the United States of America and don't anticipate controversy, you are outside of your freaking mind. That's the truth. Now, but I want to talk about a few things, man. I broke the show down into things that you need to know, concessions versus progress, as well as roundtable discussion, then things that we definitely need to talk about. The reason I broke it down that way is because we consistently overlook some things, and we've gotten into the mind state, in my opinion, of, oh, it's not that serious. But the only reason not that serious is because it's your kids. And our kids' lives are at stake. And I was talking to a friend last night, and I think she asked the idea of most people, oh man, our kids are smarter than they used to be. But it's not about our kids being smarter than it used to be, because intelligence is relative. It's not the amount of information that you have. It's what you do with that information. A lot of people can be perceived as intelligent, and they're just well-informed people that can regurgitate things that they've seen or heard other people say who they think intelligent. They come off as intelligent. It's easy, just parrot things and stick things into specific conversations. And when you stick things into specific conversations, it looks like you are the smartest guy in the world. And that's what our kids could do, some of this information that they're receiving. And that's what I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the little things, the big things, and the things that are irrelevant, but we still going to talk about them. You know what I mean? Now, as I talk about these things, what I want to do to you is this: bring up things that I consider concessions versus progress. Now, if you're coming in the chat room, I really appreciate it. Thank you, my man Big Illinois in the building. My man Ivan from brother Ivan from Forecast show I do last night was awesome. If you want to check it out, please. Hit the like button on that as well. And I got my man Steve Lott, he in the building. Much love to all three of y'all, man. As you come in, I will acknowledge you. If you want acknowledgement, if not, just continue to listen in the background. It's gonna be real. You know what I mean? Now, concessions versus progress. The reason I bring that up like this is this. Oh, it's this white lady, European woman. I guess she's from the United Kingdom or Britain or whatever you want to call it, or Great Britain or whatever. She had an issue with people attacking a dude who was perceived as a known racist. She said, I'm going to support my friend. This is a perfect example of white nationalism at its best. The reason I say that is this. If I had a friend who was accused of rape, you would have said, hey, I support my buddy Ray. You know, he just take it. But then again, maybe so, because we're living in an era where a dude who said just grab him by the pussy out made him president. So there's no way to really determine what people will and will not support. So I'm just looking at it that way. But she saw nothing wrong with backing a dude that most people in the world consider a racist, and got an attitude, and she enforced her would-be white supremacy upon Sheryl Underwood, made Sheryl Underwood extremely comfortable. And what she was really doing, what people who don't know and don't know the backstory is this. This woman used to be a producer on that show. And I do say used to be because she's been let go. But this is fake punishment. It's kind of like the David Stern thing. David Stern used to own Los Angeles Clippers. He made some disparaging remarks about racism, and the NBA knew this may cost us some money. So if Black people and other people start standing up, we're gonna lose a lot of money. We lose a lot of money, that's gonna be a problem for us. So they, contrary to popular belief, they did not get rid of David Stern because he was a problem and he would have racial tendencies. Because if we record most of those guys' conversations, we may hear a lot of the same, right? What they did was he was problematic in regards to the bottom line. So they got rid of him. And how did they punish him? Oh, you're no longer going to be part of our little club. You're no longer be part of the NBA, and you're not going to do this. So what we're going to do is take your $12 million initial investment and give you $3 billion. Please, state of Illinois, I'm really disrespecting y'all right now. I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and give me $3 billion, and I get the hell out of town and never come back either, right? And this is what I'm talking about. That is a concession, and they make you believe, hey, we're on your side. We have your back. We're doing the things that you want us to do because we believe in equality, and we're going to punish somebody and give them this much money. Same with Sharon Osbourne. She's no longer on the show. So the fake racial equality people, as our great ancestor, great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, you don't have to worry about the racist people on the right. It's the left people who are liberal or whatever side they're on. It's the liberals who be quiet and pretend to have your back. And this is what I'm talking about. It's a bunch of people standing around going, see, CBS did the right thing. They got rid of old girl. She tried to exercise her white privilege, and she got kicked out. Cheryl kept her job. No, she's suing CBS right now. They're going to give her a settlement. They're going to give her more money than she's ever going to make on the show, and she's going to disappear and potentially reappear at some other point, and then she'll be okay. Period. Y'all not gonna be talking about Sharon Osbourne in 6 months. It's not like she's a 22-year-old woman and never gonna be able to get employed again. She's a 70-year-old woman, 65, 70-year-old woman. She's gonna sit around with that money that she gets from the settlement from CBS and keep it moving. Period. Point blank, period. Or they may even let her keep her producer credits and she make money into perpetuity until that show is no longer relevant and off television. So was that progress or was that a concession? We're gonna concede the point that this lady's represented something that the world is against, and we're gonna make her disappear, but she still gets the money. And at the end of the day, nobody really cares about Sharon Osbourne's opinions. But it looks like you've done us a favor. Shout out to the #1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vern. Shout out to Black Swan, and shout out to the homie D Great. Thank y'all for the support. Please hit that like button. But this is what I'm talking about. We continue to get what is perceived as progress because they're doing away with discrimination. You're not going to do away with discrimination. Discrimination is here to stay. Understand that. We're not going to do away with it. And until we get to the point as a community, shout out to Lamar Williams. Thank you for joining the show. DJ Ramal, thank you, bro. Until we get to the, and I'm speaking, look, first and foremost, for those who just tuned in, it's your first time tuning in, or you've never watched the show, SWA Radio, thank you, you're in the building. Much love. I'm speaking to Black people at all times. I'm not discarding anybody, but just in case you didn't notice, and the dashiki might have gave it away too. I'm a black dude. So I need to speak to my community about enhancing my community. The show is called The End of the Bench, Build and Destroy, where I build up my community and destroy the lies of propaganda that's around our community. So that's what I do. Now, as I proceed, until we realize that everybody's not trying to be our friend, everybody's not our best friend and trying to put us in the best possible situation. They're trying to do that for their community. And until we take ourselves out of the purview of others and start viewing ourselves, remember, if you listened to the show 2 weeks ago, please do. 2 Saturdays ago, I said these are 2 questions we have to ask. Shout out to Dr. Greg Carr. Shout out to Professor Karen Hunter. Africana Studies starts off asking 2 questions. How do you see you? I mean, how do others see you? And how do you see yourself? We need to start wondering, how do we see ourselves? And the only way we can get to a place of comfort in this community, because again, the euphoric utopian platform is we can get the hell out of here and we can go back to Africa. Okay, most of us don't even have passports, and a lot of us are like, nah, I'm staying here, and this whole bunch of different perceptions of that. Well, since most of us are gonna stay and want to stay, what you have to do is put yourself in a position to whereas how can we be as comfortable as humanly possible? And how we can be comfortable as humanly possible is start viewing ourselves as quality. Everybody in the history of the universe has some redeeming quality. The most evil person you know has a redeeming quality. The person who you believe is the most worthless person, he has some redeeming qualities. We need to start looking at each other that way. You can get something from what this fictional character, the devil, and I'll talk about that a little later, or you can get something from a person who's perceived as an angel. These people play a role in all of our development, all of our enhancement. And once we realize that, then we will stop turning to the NBCs and the CBS and these major companies to show us respect so we can move forward. Shout out to Teresa Rucker. Thank you for being in the building. Michelle Smith in the building. Much love. Gotcha. But as I was saying, man, look, we can continue to pretend that we're in this euphoric state and everybody at some point, what we're going to do is keep fighting and then we're going to kumbaya. Not going to happen, y'all. It's not going to happen. But what we can do is get to the point whereas I see value in everybody who's listening to the show. I see everybody I walk past. No matter if you're in my community or not, I see value in you. But if you're in my community, we need to start galvanizing and moving forward so we can get things taken care of. And that way, when people act out or say something that's disparaging or use some type of racial epithet towards us, it'll just slide right off our back. It's duly noted that you're disrespectful. Since you're disrespectful, you cannot be in the circle. Since you're not being in the circle, you're irrelevant. And if you're irrelevant, why am I talking about you? So look, I understand that Sharon Osbourne is a celebrity, but a celebrity is just a person that's on TV. Guess what? On a very, very low scale, I'm a celebrity because it's been hundreds and thousands of people who paid attention to this show. But guess what? I ain't no different than you, man. I got to work. I got to pay bills. I got to feed my family. I got to make sure everything in my life has balance as well. So a celebrity is just a person with more opportunity than you, period. So, but the CBS thing, look, man, CBS and all these other people who are going to help us out, they're not. They throw you concessions. They pull the knife. I say this every week. They pull the knife. The knife is 9 inches into your back. They pull the knife out 6 inches, and you say, that's progress. No, that's a concession. Pull it out my back. Give me some Band-Aids. Give me some stitches. Help me out. That's progress. But allow me to move forward. Speaking of progress versus concession, this is something that really disturbs me, and this is something that runs rampant in our community. And the reason I say it runs rampant in our community is this. We feel as if we're in the mud. We even say, I got this out the mud and I developed it to something. I get it, man. But we're not in the mud. I need you to do some research and look into economics, right? And as you look into economics, what you will see is 75% of us do not live below the poverty line. That's why it is totally insulting for politicians and people who come to help us to always start at crime reform and poverty. If 75% of us are not below the poverty line that you set, and why are you talking to me about poverty? And most of us have not gone to jail or prison for that matter. Why are you talking to me about criminal reform? Yeah, we are disproportionately placed in these houses of correction, joke, but that's not us. Just because you're a part of my community, just because you're a descendant of Africans, does not mean you inherently go to jail or sell drugs or poor. I'm sorry, it's not that. So we're always moving away from each other instead of galvanizing. Look, I understand a lot of us live in high crime areas, right? A lot of us live in situations to whereas the criminal element seems to be elevated out versus outside. The reason is you know what's going on in your part of soup. Their part of soup is just as jacked up, but for whatever reason, the powers that be, the people in charge, the dominant structure does not show you that the largest criminal organization in the world are the Russian mafia, the Asian mafia, and the Mexican mafia. Did I say anything about Chicago, Los Angeles, New York street gangs? No, I did. Those are not 1, 2, and 3 right there. They continue. When you think, what's the biggest crime today? Human trafficking. Gangs, what they call street gangs, don't traffic human beings. Therefore, why are you always talking to me about criminal reform, criminal justice reform? Because you know the system is set up to get me. How about some constitutional reform, and then we can have a conversation? Don't talk to me about crime and poverty. Don't, when you look at me, it's like, you know what I feel like? Yeah, everybody knows somebody who has, been a little tart. But every time you talk about taking a shower, everybody should look over at him because that's just one individual. Don't include us in everything, because if you want to include us as a group into everything, we all Barack Obamas, and we all Reverend Kings, and we all anybody who's successful, but y'all don't lump us in like that. Y'all just lump us into nefarious activity and poverty. We ain't trying to hear that anymore. The reason I bring that up is the reason I say we need to galvanize, because if you galvanize, if everybody in this chat room moved into the same neighborhood, same block, 10, 12 houses on the north, 10, 12 houses on the south, or east and west, or however your block is set up, right? At that point, we can make a difference in our community. We can become the squeaky wheel, collective squeaky wheel, and then our schools will be enhanced. Then there'll be more money and so forth. So you heard me say this time and time again. Then you wouldn't have results like this. The reason I bring this up is because academically, we've been told in the United States of America that in the event that you want to be successful, what you need to do is this. You need to educate yourself and go to college and pay attention. You'll become successful. And once you become successful, you'll have that education to fall back on. And when you got the education to fall back on, you'll be doing great things. And then people say, well, I got to move out the hood because the hood schools are substandard, yada, 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 this, that, and third. Right? That's the speech that you get. This is why people who have any modicum of success, they move out of the hood. What you are doing is taking that light that you have, removing it from the hood, and taking it somewhere else that it already has a sun, and enhancing their sun. That's what you're doing. Am I knocking you for it? Again, no. These are my opinions. You have the right to your opinion. You have the right to do things the way you want to do them, and you will not be knocked on this show for doing it that way. That's the way you see fit. But if you really want to have a collective, look, just because you get rich, if you hit the Powerball tonight, that has nothing to do with your cousin who lives in Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, or wherever you live. You hit the Powerball. Your whole family does not get rich. And because you make it out, you still got cousins, nieces, and nephews that are there. So the reason I'm bringing this up is if we continue to stay and fight against the nefarious activities, against the dregs of humanity, then we can move them out and the good people stay in, and we continue to shine and create a sun, as I referenced a few minutes ago, ourselves, right? Brings me to this point. We have Brooklyn, New York. There's a private school. For whatever reason, I didn't write it down like a dummy. But headmaster at this school had a young brother, get this, who finished his work early. He's excelling. You put him in the better school with more amenities, with more attention, and he excels. He finishes his work faster than everybody in the class. What this young man does is I don't know what he did to get this, but he started asking the teacher questions. The teacher tells him to come to the front of the class because he's being disruptive, age appropriate. He's 11 years old. How many 11-year-olds can sit down and sit still for premium amount of time, if any, not me. Puts the young man on all fours and makes him apologize to the crowd for that. I mean, class for that. And he attempts to defend his actions by saying, somebody told me that was an African tradition. One of my friends told me that's the African way to apologize. This is why we need to have governance amongst us, because as we stay in one community, we build up that community. We talk to the state representative, we talk to the committeeman, we talk to the city council. We need this, we need lights, we need streets fixed. That's how you get it done. The fact that a sister in Brooklyn is on the news talking about, you put my son down on all fours like a dog in a private school, that this sister and this man, who the young brother's father, is paying $15K a year for him to attend, not to mention the other kids that they paying for their attention as well, who are in substandard. Because guess what? The school system is the only thing in the United States of America that should be run like a communist state. Everybody should have equal access to everything, right? But there's no way in hell that this white man did not know that that was demeaning, degrading, and disrespectful. Now, if you're the father, you go up there, you put your hands on this dude, you put hands and feet on this dude, you're a wild animal. But nobody, and I do mean nobody on earth, especially a child, should be demeaned in such a fashion that you put on all four like a animal and apologize. See, again, I said this Sunday on the Jaw Jackson. I'm gonna say it today. The problem isn't what we're doing, because we've been programmed to the point where our natural inclination is, well, if we treated each other better, then they would treat each other. No, no, no. Miss me with that nonsense, because how I treat anybody has nothing to do with you respecting me as a human being. Because you should walk into every situation as respecting a human being to the fullest, no matter what. If you are a homeless man and woman living under a bridge, you should be respected like Barack Obama and the current president of the United States of America, because you are a human being. Putting someone on all fours and having them apologize in front of their friends, it's the only thing you had to do that could have been worse was spit on the kid. But you don't hear this. And this dude is trying to pretend, I want to apologize. Again, it goes back to the simple fact. The reason that happens is because you don't see us as human beings. And people continue. You can quote all the black on black crime. You can look at the way they dress, look at the way they breathe, look at the way they live. Get the hell out of here, man. You do not, under no circumstance. Me, I'm putting hands and feet on the principal, on the headmaster, which I have a problem with the title headmaster anyway. But that's neither here nor there. And this is what I'm talking about, man. These are the things that I'm talking about. We must get to the point whereas people are treating us with the utmost respect, no matter where we are. No matter where we are and no matter what we do. Period. I don't want to hear this nonsense about, oh, well, he didn't understand. He got some bad information. All we have to do is ask this person, would you allow someone to put your child on all fours in front of the classroom and make them apologize? No, you wouldn't. So for you to have my kid out there, we need to be acting a damn fool. And I thought this was the better situation. I thought these were people who had problem solving abilities. I thought these were the people who were more in tune. I thought, all that nonsense why you take your kid out of the bad school, and not to even mention the fact that a lot of these young people, they did a special on 60 Minutes recently, and about the trauma that kids go through from our community. You put them into these predominantly white elementary schools or high schools, and then they get called these racial slurs and get treated. I told y'all 2 weeks ago, the young brother down there in Texas, they were picking on him. And they're picking on him. And remember, they picking on him. But we got this anti-bullying campaign going on. My son got suspended from school because him and his buddy, my son's 27, but when he was in high school 10 years ago, they were teasing, they playing around like boys do. They said, man, you look like Kermit the Frog. My son liked it and got suspended for 3 days. Now, we were going on vacation, so it worked out. And then I ended up having a one-on-one with the dude, and, never happened again. Let's just put it that way. And I ain't going there to put hands and feet on the dude or nothing. I ain't going there in a violent matter. I'll just expose him as the clown that he is. And this is too ridiculous because kids are part of being a kid is having fun. He was doing some age appropriate stuff. Now, if he was making the dude uncomfortable, whatever, the young man had been to my house. They all in the same little crew. But you suspend my son for laughing. He didn't even call him, say the boy looked like a Muppet. He liked it. And then my son gets suspended and the dude come in. But again, this is what we do when we allow. This is what I want y'all to understand. When we allow other people to educate our kids, shout out to Larry Favors. This is like the Jews. Us not creating our own schools and getting in 10 fingers, 10 toes behind them. It's like the Jews having the Nazis educate their children. What good would that will come of that? It wouldn't have happened. And that's the mentality we need to have. Shout out to my girl Sabrina Looney. She in the building. Much love. Thank you, Sabrina. Now, these are the things that plague our community, man. And these are the things that we think we're getting ahead, but we're really not getting ahead. Because if your child is traumatized in elementary school and he's traumatized in high school because he's in the better situation, messes with his mind. Next thing you know, you got a Jason Whitlock as a son, or Candace Owens as a daughter, because you tend to adapt to the things that are around you, good, bad, or indifferent. If you don't have the coolest clothes, you want the coolest clothes, and now you turn a good person into a materialistic person, and we can go on and on and on. Period. This has to stop. Now, product of HBCU, my family got a long, rich history of HBCUs. I've been preaching since I've been on the air. HBCUs are the way to go. And this is the reason I say that. Ohio State University. It's a young man that missed some free throws and they didn't go to the Elite Eight or the Final Four, the Sweet 16, or whatever the hell. This young brother getting death threats. But guess what? Had he been instead of Ohio State, if he'd have been at Grambling State University, then bam, you're not getting threats like that. Because you know what? We the booed you, we the tease you, we the called you a punk and all that stuff that comes along. Look, you get the free education, you get the free attention. They slide you a couple dollars on the low. We get it. I understand it. I get it. But when you get those amenities, people teasing you when you don't do well, it's part of the deal. People threatening your life, that's never part of the deal. That's never part of the deal. So why would we deal with that? See, look, people, like when I say these things to my friends who disagree, they go, well, that's not the way the world is constructed. You need to have a more well-rounded view of the world so you can be able to attack the world. Not really. 70% of white people have no contact with black people. You said today, look these things up. You ain't gotta agree with me. I'm gonna show you 70% of white people don't deal with black people at all outside of work. Now, exactly, they don't. My man Steve said blacks don't get threats at HBCUs. Now, it's not because we enjoy the fun. We gonna tease you. You bum, you gonna get the booze. But to threaten somebody's life about a damn basketball game, come on, son. It's insane. But like I'm saying, we've been sold this bag of goods about kumbaya and communities and everybody's involved, but that's not the way it works. I live in Chicago. Now, we all have friends from different cultures, but I guarantee you, it's a great chance. There's always the exception to the rule. You put yourself in a situation. I can grab you right today, take you over to the greatest job you've ever had, give you more money than you've ever made in your life. And most people, when it's lunchtime, you migrate towards the people who you're affiliated with, who look like you. And that's just it. So this thing about, hey, man, you need to be adjusted to the world, but the world seems to never adjust to the hood or the community or the culture or the diaspora. I should say the diaspora. The world seems to never adjust to us. Why ain't it a whole bunch of people just coming to the hood, hanging out with the bros? What you doing over here? Oh man, I just want, hey man, y'all seem like y'all good folks. Let's go kick it. I want to see what y'all doing. You don't get a lot of that. You get one or two. Well, it's like I said, one or two, if any, not many. So why do we break our necks to assimilate to other cultures? Because it's not doing us any good. It's not. And there's people that are hearing what I'm saying, they're disappointed in what I'm saying. Oh man, you can't think like that, rap. You got to change the way you see the world, brother. Because see, it ain't like that no more. That was in the Dr. King days, right? But I guess the Dr. King days came back because nobody wants. It's always an issue with us. You got people. Me and the brothers on Forecast last night, we did a review of this movie called American Skin. It was a very, in my opinion, it was a very realistic movie because they talked about when a black person gets shot, black on black crime, the way you address it, all these bromites and catchphrases that people throw out at us. And we are supposed to accept these as status quo. We're supposed to continue exchange. We're supposed to 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We're supposed to yes, sir, and no, sir. And then we still get shot. Well, the brother, remember the brother in Oklahoma City, he had his hands up like this, walking towards the back of his truck, about to place his hands on the truck. He got shot in his back because the lady said she was scared. What the hell was she scared of? Was she scared he's going to bust out his own windows, kill himself? And these are the things that we're dealing with, but we keep trying to assimilate again, man. If you create a universe in which you're comfortable with yourself in that universe, meaning when I say yourself, I mean us as a collective, it really doesn't make a difference what other people think about us. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It will never mean anything because we're doing our best to be our best for each other. And then when we are our best for each other, everybody else will see it, and then it don't make a difference. It really doesn't make a difference at that point. Now, things that I want to talk about at the round table. I got my man Joe from Houston in the building. Much love to Joe. Much love to Lauren. Much love to Peyton. That's the whole crew over there. Thank y'all for the support. Now, this is a bit of progress. Acquired immunity. If you're not familiar with the term acquired immunity, that is qualified, qualified immunity. Maybe if I look at my notes, I would be able to get things right. But qualified immunity. City Council yesterday voted in New York City for the removal of qualified immunity. If you're not familiar with this, this is why a cop can say, I fear for my life, and then get away with it. Now, this is something that is the same in Colorado, and potentially these are the reasons these cops are reckless and rogue the way they are. Now, this is the thing. This is where I always get off the bus right here. The people in the USA Today, and as I was reading it, they said, and I quote, the people who are against this say that the cops are not going to be able to police the way they used to. Are you telling me the only way you can be a policeman is if you shoot people in the back, beat them up unnecessarily, and profile them? That's problematic in itself. Especially in New York City when they had the stop and fresh program, and 70% of the people that got stopped and fresh look like me or a Spanish version of me. Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. When I say Latinos, it's Brazilian, Central America, but Dominicans and Puerto Ricans are prominent in New York City. So if everybody you stop look like me, are you doing your job, or are you just picking on me? Seems like you're just picking on me, right? But that's the thing, man. We're living in a society in which people are able to do exactly what they want to do when they want to do it, and with no immunity. It's just saying, hey, man, this is what I do. And we can't live like that. And qualified immunity needs to be on the books nationwide. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker. It needs to be across the board, because how can you shoot me? Why are you afraid? If you shoot somebody in the back, you should go to jail. You shoot somebody in the back, you should go to jail. That's it. That's all, man. I ain't trying to hear none of that. And people always saying, I didn't know, I didn't understand. The next question I have is this. Is it your job to educate someone ignorant ass white person, ignorant ass person from another culture, or ignorant ass black person for that matter, on why white supremacy exists, why you understand what racism is. Like the conversation that Ozzy Osbourne's wife and Cheryl Underwood was having. Well, explain to me what racism is. Why do I have to explain that to you? Why is that my responsibility? But you sit there, these people will sit there in your face and tell you what's wrong with you and paint the entire community with that same brush. But the same, let's just use the police, for example. See, look at the way you're dressed. That makes me think you're a thug. Look at the way look at the music you listen to. That makes me think you're a thug. You don't have respect for yourself because of what people do in the videos. So what they did was take rapper A, take thug A, and take character out of a movie A, mesh them into one person, and take that mesh and paint our entire community with it. And they think that's okay, right? That's what bigots, police officers, and anybody that's just juxtaposed to us. That's what they say, right? But they don't want you to go, yeah. So why you ain't like the cop that shot the dude in the back? Why aren't you like the cops that choke people out? Well, all cops ain't the same, but all black people are. See, this is why I have no time to explain who and what I am to anybody. If you think I'm a hoodlum, then watch out. I might be ready to kick your ass. If you think I'm a disparaging portion of the community, watch out again. I may be ready to put my hands on you. There it is. But no one wants to. Everybody wants a fair shot, but they're unwilling to give it. The black community is full of hoodlums, thieves, rapists, murderers, the whole nine. But when we go, here's this mirror. Oh no, that's not me. I'm just trying to get home safely. Well, so am I. And had you not pulled me over and held me up for this 20 minutes, I would be home. What are you doing in this neighborhood? The fuck, whatever the hell I want to be doing. But you don't see anything wrong with that. You don't even see anything wrong with talking to me in a condescending tone. But when I look at you as a bigot and a racist, you get uncomfortable. Because all I did was what you did. You looked at me and assumed something. You assumed that car isn't good enough. His skin is too dark. Why is he over here? He must be doing something wrong. So, Mr. Non-liberal or Mr. Bigot, Mr. Based your life on prejudice or Mrs. Whatever, I'm just going to do what you do. And it's amazing to me how people who represent forms of white supremacy always have a problem being called white supremacists. That's the most ass backward thing I could think of I've ever experienced in my life. Holy, you treat me like trash because what I look like. And I look at you and I call you a name and you've been out of shape. Amazing. Amazing. Shout out to Irene Hurt. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the support. Please make sure y'all hitting that like button. This is Built for This Network. I want you to hit the like button. Go to Built for This Network on Spreaker.com. Hit the like button. Share. This is the End of the Bench podcast and Late Rent Loud Music Studios. Thank you for tuning in. Now, these are the things that I'm talking about. Everybody wants the best, but nobody's willing to give the respect and to get the best. You want me to respect you, Mr. Police Officer. Don't just erroneously pull me over for no reason at all. Shout out to Naisha Bunkley. Thank you for tuning in. It's always good to see you. Much love, much appreciation. But this is what I'm talking about. You want the respect, but you're not willing to get the respect. It's not difficult to determine if you're racist or not. It really is. Do you treat people the way you don't want to be treated? Do you look at people and assume certain things? Then there's a good chance that you are big. Period. I got my man Wilkes in the building. Much love, Wilkes. My brother from Forecast. Check us out on Mondays, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's always good. Thank you for the support. But we're expected to overlook indiscretions. We're expected to look overlook discrimination. We're expected to overlook inequalities. But when I call you out on it, you got a problem with it. Why? All I'm doing is responding to you. And as I said on forecast last night, people who are in these positions to mistreat my brothers and my sisters, every day you should go to bed and think, God, we are not trying to get revenge. We just want to be left alone. You've braided this demonic mentality in so many of my brothers and sisters that instead of identifying that something was done wrong to them, they will figure out why it was done to them. No, I can dress as ridiculous as I like. I can speak the most broken English humanly possible. I can break all the social rules I like, and I deserve to be here tomorrow. Now, if I murder, rape, kill somebody, I even still deserve to be here tomorrow. I need to go to court and we need to work those things out. But don't try to exterminate me. Don't put me in a situation to whereas you know I'm in a bad situation, but because you're too stupid to look past the propaganda, you buy into it. And see, you live in a bad neighborhood, or see, you should have just gone to college, or you should no, because guess what? All white people that are successful did not go to college. And some of them are construction workers, some are city workers, some are in the good old boy network, some of them in the unions that you were going to get killed if you were attempted to get in. And even to this day, to get in a union, you must be sponsored by, and more than likely, you must be sponsored by a union member. So if all the guys don't look like me and don't know me and have no connection to me, how the hell do I get into the union? Because guess what? Everybody isn't designed for college. Oh, you want me to go to college? Not a problem. But you're going to give me substandard schools, substandard books. You're going to give me books that are old. You're going to give me materials that I can't excel in. So, hey, by the way, then you're looking for a resume now. To get into college, you must have so much community service. But if the teachers are putting things together with spit and straw, how do you have time for that? Oh, but you should put your kids in private school so they get that opportunity. But what you don't want to do is hire and or promote me. So I'm stuck in this box. And then when I try to get out the box, you push me then. Or if I go over here and I'm out the box, but I still live here and I can't afford a nice car outside of the box car, you're gonna sweat me for that. Shout out to Ben for BS3. Much love to the brother, another brother from the Forecast podcast. Check us out, man. We dope. But these are the things that we struggle with as being Black people or descendant of Africans, because we're not descendant of slaves. A slave is not a person. There is no country called slave. So we're descendant of Africans who are still living here in America. That's it. But these are the things you want me to deal with, and then you want me to smile about it. And then when you fail at getting me to react to your foolishness, you want me to thank you for not giving me a citation. Yeah, officer, I don't even know how to say your name. I'm speaking from personal experience. Last time I was pulled over. And you don't want me to deal with these things, and you want me to smile and keep fighting hard. Man, enough of that. Again, man, you got to take care of yourself or you'll be taken care of. And with that being said, man, I'm going to go to a break. Like I said, I brought this segment back. I used to do it at the top of the show to enhance our community on people who are important in our community, because you don't really get this information in school. And because you're not getting this information in school, I'm going to share it on my show because I need everybody to know this. There's greatness in everybody. As I said at the top of the show, there are no blanks. Everybody is good at something. Hell, if you're a good liar, then guess what? You need to be a storyteller. Period. Point blank period. With that being said, I'll be back to you in 2 and 2. Enjoy this. I hope so. I'll be back.
I am a proud new partner of Car Marshal. If you are interested in a new or used car, please click on my link below in my description. No credit check, no cosigner. That's car marshal. "100 years before Rosa, there was Elizabeth Jennings. In 1854, a teacher named Elizabeth Jennings refused to give up her seat on a streetcar. The streetcar belonged to a company named Third Avenue Railroad. This particular streetcar sometimes had a sign showing that black people are allowed to ride. Back then, the only streetcars black folks were allowed to ride were the ones that had the acceptance sign. If they didn't have the sign, that meant it was for white only. So Elizabeth gets on, and the conductor asked her to leave. Then the conductor changed his mind and said, "Okay, but if any white passengers get on, you must get off." Elizabeth's response was, "I am a respectable person born and raised in New York. I have never been insulted before while on my way to church. You are a good-for-nothing, impudent fellow for insulting decent persons while on their way to church." The conductor got physical with her, and she yelled at him and told him not to lay his hands on her. The conductor dragged her off of the streetcar, and she climbed back on. A police officer came over and helped the conductor. Elizabeth was bruised up and dirty from the scuffle. When Elizabeth returned home, she notified her father. Her father's name was Thomas Jennings. Thomas Jennings worked directly with Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was his homeboy. So they decided to go to the papers. Thomas knew that Frederick Douglass would have been able to pull some strings to get the word out. Thomas Jennings was a very successful and prominent individual. They wrote about Elizabeth's situation in the New York Daily Tribune. And then they hired a young lawyer by the name of Chester Arthur, who would go on to be the vice president under James Garfield. They took the case to court, and they won. Elizabeth won over $250. Today's earning, it'll be roughly around $10,000. So let's salute Miss Jennings. This was 100 years before Rosa. I will highly recommend Elizabeth Jennings' biography called Streetcar to Justice. Click on the link in my description box below. This was Forgotten Black Heroes Part 4. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you thumbs up, and make sure you hit the notification bell.
With that being said, thank you for tuning in. It's your boy HRap back in effect. I want to say what's up to Lady J. I forgot to go over there and say what's up to Lady J. Thank y'all for continuing to tune in. It's been real. Man, that's what I was saying. These are the things that you think Rosa Parks is the first person to stand up for us. And, oh, man, Rosa Parks, but I got mad love for Rosa Parks, but she's not the only one. And these are the things that we need to know about. The reason we need to know about those things, look, when the young ladies see Rosa Parks and see her, they get empowered. When you feel down, that's Sister Elizabeth. You're going to get empowered too when you see, when we continue to put these brothers up here and these sisters up here who've done great things. See, that's the thing. We are not taught history in our educational process, because when you are taught history, you see that you are capable. And when you see you're capable, you feel unstoppable. And if you feel unstoppable, no amount of racism, discrimination, or none of that nonsense can hold you back. And then you will see how they use their cohorts in the community to help them get what they wanted. And if you can do it 200 years ago, I'm through talking. If it could be done in 1800s, I'm through talking. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. And this leads me to being ready. We have a lot of things going on in our community at this point. We are under attack spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. And what we need to realize is when you're under attack the way we are, you must put yourself in a position to protect yourself. And how do you protect yourself in the United States of America? Look, as I'm getting into and two more topics, we must start protecting ourselves. I said this on the show Sunday with the jaw jackets, man. Sunday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I said this then. We have to start preparing to protect ourselves. And the reason I'm saying this is this. Due to the abject violence that is being projected in our community and making us feel as if we are the most violent people on the planet, we are afraid to protect ourselves with physical force. If you don't have a felony in most states, you can apply for a gun card. And when you apply for a gun card, that gives you the ability to own a firearm and protect your home and as well as your person. And when you do those things, again, it empowers you. You feel unstoppable because you can go to bed and sleep comfortably and know if anybody intrudes on your family or your personal space, if need be, you can do away with them. And am I encouraging people to, oh man, we need to kill each other. We need to go kill, kill, kill. But this is what I do know. People who call themselves white supremacists, white nationalists, KKK, skinhead, or any other, what is it? What are all these random ancillary parties that are anti me and you? What they do is this. This is their plan. They go to the military. They learn how to shoot. They learn how to clean their weapons, and it automatically, in most cases, gives them a direct entry to the police department. Well, we have some young people in our universe who don't really have an idea what they want to do right now. You got people like my brother Ivan in here, my brother Ant Young, I got Cedric Trotter, my homegirl Sid. They left my man Ron Rogers, Sid's husband, well, former husband, ex-husband. They all have the ability after leaving the military to go into law enforcement. The reason I'm bringing up law enforcement in that manner is if you want some even policing in your community, again, a lot of them, man, we need to do this. We have to start putting things in action. We have to start thinking today for 2041. Did you hear what I said? Today, we need to be thinking about 2041 at the earliest. That's the next thing we need to be thinking about, 2041. We don't need to be worried about 2030. We need to be worried about 2041 when your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, nephews, cousins, and neighbors' children will be in the streets and they need to be safe. When we 80 years old or 70 years old and we need to be safe, that's what we need to be planning on. Damn, the next 4 years. We need to be doing shit that keep us in line for the next 40 years. We need to have a 100-year plan. We really do. And if it's a lot of young people, man, they're confused. They probably never even left their community. Introduce them to the military. And oh man, the army gonna make you nah. But the army is gonna give you some structure. It's gonna give you an opportunity to see the rest of the world. It's gonna give you the ability to be employable upon leaving. And they're gonna give you money in the event that, hey, at 25, at 18, I wasn't trying to hear this. I'm 23 now. That school thing might be the move. Or you go into graphic arts. It's a lot of ways. But one thing for sure, when you leave the military, you go right to the top of the line to be the fuzz. And if you went at the top of the line to be the fuzz, and we are creating a community in which I love my man DJ Ramal, I love my man Wilkes, I love my man Rocker, I love my man Ivan, I love my sister Sabrina, I love my sister Naisha, I love everybody. the streets, bam, hey man, you don't really know what you want to do? We're gonna put you in the military. You're gonna go there, you're gonna see the world. You're gonna have this pride in being who you are instilled in you, because not only did your parents love you, your neighbors loved you, your uncles, your aunts, your grandparents, they loved you. Your friends' parents loved you. When you come to somebody's house, it's almost, remember, at one point, if you came in somebody's house, if you didn't accept the food that they were giving you, it was almost insulting. Now we got to the point where I don't eat everybody's food. If you love yourself, that foolishness that we be saying, I don't need no new friends. If I ain't need no new friends, you see this brother in the chat, you see this name right across the screen, Stevie Lott. If I ain't need no new friends, he would be in the show right now. We must look. What do you mean you don't need new people in your life? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because Steve is going to tell me something that I never knew about. I'm going to tell him something he never knew about. Chief Rocker is going to tell me things that I never knew about. Now, when you say friends, that don't mean, hey man, scoot over, let me sleep in your bed. Hey man, let me borrow your car. Hey man, give me $10,000 and don't get mad at me when I don't pay. No. You need people in your life for different experiences to broaden your horizons, to put you in a better mental space. Because if all you know is the projects, but Steve used to live 6 blocks away from the projects, and he has different experience, and Steve think everybody in the project's crazy, and I think everybody over there with Steve now stuck up and they hate me. When me and Steve meet each other, if I love myself, I say, "What's up, Steve?" And he say, "What's up, B?" And we started talking and we realized we have more things in common. And guess what? Steve found out he got a cousin in the project. I got a cousin down the street from Steve. And now we all 4 friends and we enhancing each other. So this is why, hey, that military thing, you know, hey, and again, it ties right into that movie from last night. Amari Hardwick, you know him as James St. Patrick and other characters. That's his latest big character. He said he came from the very same neighborhood as the main character played by indeed played by our brother Nate Parker, but they didn't know each other until they got the military. So you walking around people your whole life with something in common. Now they consider themselves brothers. Another reason to go to the military. But again, back to the main point. When you get broaden your horizons, you come back to your community. You be a cop in your neighborhood. Now you a cop in your precinct and you talking to the kids. Now, instead of, like you see in movies and we know what happened in real life, Officer Lott and Officer Williams run up on Chief Rocker, son. Ain't you Rocker's son? Man, go on down there before I tell your father. And that's how you create a peace. That's how you create a community situation. And that's how you stop your kids from being afraid. And now they going to school being educated by Naisha and Sabrina and Michelle and Nicole. And now they're not afraid. Now the principal is Teresa, or Teresa is the police captain or the alderman, and we create peace. So while they're using the police to potentially attack us and put us in a horrible situation and keep that imaginary red line, we're gonna use the same police to fight against them. And then you good. Now, I mentioned alder person, state representative, committee person. While we are trying to get our get down together and galvanizing, they are galvanizing already to destroy everything that I'm talking about. You don't believe me? The people in Atlanta, the people in the state of Georgia, their rights are under attack as we speak, people. They passed legislation to make it more difficult to vote. I don't even have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is our sister Park Cannon and Nikema Williams being arrested in direct violation of Georgia state law. They are in session. That means the government is working. The legislative group is working, right? Not a problem. Georgia state law states that they could not be arrested while in session. Both of them, over a 3-month period, have been arrested in session. That's a violation of law number one. Violation of law number two, the governor is a clown and we must remove him. This is what we need to do. Instead of being angry and waiting on our great sister Stacey Abrams and waiting on the good brothers down there in Black Votes Counts campaign, Sister Brown, and I think his last name is Johnson, brother with some glasses. Yeah, the people in Georgia put the brother Reverend Raphael Warnock as a senator, and the other guy too. Warnock looking like me, that's my concern. But what we need to realize is this: they've made it more difficult for you to vote. This is not a Georgia state issue. I keep telling y'all, 5Calls app, man, puts you in contact with your people and legislation in Chicago, in New York, in LA, and Los Angeles, puts you in contact with these people. We need to be complaining at all times because this is the John Lewis Act that we've been waiting on, that they've been filibustering past, and the in the United States Congress and United States Senate. This will stop that. This can't just be stopped in the states because I don't know if y'all know about this. They're about to attack the state of Arizona next, and then they're going to attack the state of Philadelphia. Wisconsin is on the ropes already. This is important because when it's important like this, then you have problems. We must be prepared, man. All this does is removes procrastination from our vocabulary. We can no longer look. I don't know if y'all heard me Saturday. I'm gonna say it again. This is what we do. They got this legislation, gerrymander. They different change the counties because the census went out this year. We fighting against that. We don't know what's going to be happening with that, but this is going to help us because procrastination is no longer part of our dialect. We need to get out early and do things in force. Because if you want to be this, then cool. Cool. We can't have waters, not a problem. That means when early voting opens, we need to be there early. We need to get as many seniors out the first day of early vote, the second day of early vote, until all the seniors. Stacey Abrams, if you listening, what we need to do in the state of Georgia to get this damn clown out, because what people don't realize, this clown is up in 2 years. So this governor needs to be removed. I think he might be done in 22, but I don't know. What we need to do is figure out the early voting day and figure out how many seniors in the state of Georgia and have an organization go get those seniors, get them registered. And when early voting start, get the seniors out there. And then let's say we're going to start at 90 to 70, then from 70 to 50, and then from 50 to 30, and then the young people go vote on the last day. That's how you remedy this. See, when people create obstacles for you, you can get angry or you can get moving. And it's time for us to get moving. And we need to do that nationwide. Stop waiting to the last minute. Oh, I got a couple weeks. You don't have a couple weeks. Because again, man, voting don't count. I've never seen people systematically strategize to get rid of something and stop people from doing something that was irrelevant. Period. So whether you believe in it or not, you here. Or all you gotta do is hit your man up at HRap_B on Instagram or Twitter and say, this is what I want to do, and let me come on your show so I can say it. And then you on, and I'm gonna ask you the questions, and then you won't keep it pumping. Otherwise, shut up. Shut the hell up. Because if you ain't got no solutions, you part of the problem. Period. Period. With that being said, realize this, man. We are part of some type of white nationalist, bigoted, prejudice fantasy. Shout out to Lamont King. And to go deeper on that is this. You hear in the movies, and you might hear, if you're in the South, you hear from them. You hear the people from the South, the white Southerners, though, the South will rise again. the South will rise again. That is a direct threat to our community. Because if the South rises again, that means we're back in bondage and we're treated like animals. And if we're treated like animals, what does that make them? That makes them in charge. And if they're in charge, we're going to die. I don't want to hear about no heritage with no battle flag. Because first of all, that ain't even the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag actually looks more like the state flag in Georgia right now, which is another complicated situation that I don't want to get into. But the Confederate flag actually looks like the state of Georgia flag currently. Look it up. Google it. You ain't got to believe me. Look up the Confederate flag and look up the Georgia state flag, and you'd be like, whoa. But that's the battle flag that you know that was on top of the General Lee had all us laughing and thinking it was cool and Bo and Luke do black folks watching that. My mother used to look at me like I was smoking heroin, and I do mean heroin, and you can't even smoke it as a kid. But my mother used to look at me crazy, and I never understood. Like, it's a TV show, knock it off. But I get it now. You want to tell me about the battle flag and the things of that nature with the Confederacy and yada, yada, yada. We just living up to our heritage. Your heritage is oppressing. DJ Ramon, that's the same thing, my bad. You want to tell me about your heritage. Your heritage is about killing my heritage, period. I don't want to hear that nonsense. If you represent your heritage and it destroys mine, maybe you need to redo your heritage. Or maybe you need to come up with another symbol to redo your heritage. Now, with that being said, man, while these dudes are preparing for war, the South will rise again. It's a war call, brothers and sisters. That is a call to arms. You don't believe me? Go to a gun store and buy a case of bullets. You can't. You got this jackass, Lindsey Graham, state senator, who said he's not. He wished the apocalypse would jump off because he got an AR-15 to let people know if you come up to my house, I'm gonna kill you. But this is the same dude who had no problem with the people who stormed the Capitol, the riot at the Capitol a couple of weeks ago. You know, the same people who said they had ties and ropes and had a noose in front of the joint, and they said they were gonna kill Nancy Pelosi on TV. He has no problem with them. The senator up here in Wisconsin, the same thing. I didn't have no problem with them. I was worried about the people who were protesting last summer. People who protested last summer didn't have anything to do. They had no violent acts. And you had infiltrators and provocateurs. They played a role in it. But those people, by and large, did not have a thing to do with the violence that was going on. But you don't have a problem with that, and you get AR-15s for this and that and the third, right? But who are you really speaking to, Nancy? See, they want us to do what they have done. They do. They really want us to rise up and attack. See, what you don't know is South Carolina, 1867, 68, 67, around that time. Actually, I would say 1880. 1880, yeah. It's a county. There, white people stormed the county, took over the town, and killed all the black people that were voted into office. So, in their minds, if we were ever to get in power, we would do them like they did us. No, Republicans want a race war. They really think it would be they would have the upper hand. They honestly, the Dems don't have guns. Hey man, I'm not a Democrat. Thank you, brother. Kamala B, if that's your name. Thank you for the comment. But you know what? I'm not rolling with none of those people, family. I'm rolling with our community. I want you to get a gun. I want your wife or your husband or whatever it is, your significant other to get a gun. I want you to train your children to have guns because this section right here, this dude is telling people to get ready to get down. This dude is telling people, if you come to my house, I got an AR-15. This is why. Shout out to Ivan, man. Much love, much love. Thank you, Ivan. I didn't see your name, man. I'm sorry for the delay. And these people want to reenact the Civil War and try to win it. And this is why earlier in the show, I was telling you, we need to get armed and be ready. We are not on attack. Guess why? Because we're not an attack-based culture. The sister doing the resurrection last year, the uprisings last year said it on TV. Y'all better be glad we want equality and not revenge. We're not a revenge-filled people. And some of our brothers and sisters who act on that, that's because you've been oppressed and demeaned for so long, you take on the characteristics of your oppressor. Period. I don't have anything bad to say about anybody. I got everything good to say about people that look like this, with this kind of hair. And if you take that as a disparaging remark towards you and your people, that's your hard ass luck. We just trying to survive. I want my folks to win. I'm trying to create an environment. So I got this, potentially got this brother coming on Saturday and next Tuesday. I got another brother come on talk about health and wellness. We're going to attack health and wellness. We're going to attack spirituality. We're going to attack individuality. We're going to attack entrepreneurship. We're going to attack black love. I have my man Mike come on home the black love side of the game. That's all we trying to do here, man. That's all I'm trying to do, man. I want you to support my brother, number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern on Monday. I want you to support Knox on Tuesday. I want you to support Knox on Wednesday. I want you to support my man Big Illinois on Thursdays and Wednesdays. I want you to support Knox on Fridays. I want you to support me on Saturdays, and Lisa Dukes on Saturday, and then the Chow Jackers on Saturday. Then I want you to support my man Ben for BS3 on Mondays and throughout the week. That's what I want. What I am going to do is spend a whole lot of energy and an inordinate amount of energy on uniting DJ Ramal, MCDE. We gonna do away with our complaints. You don't like the music that's being played on the radio? Not a problem. We got 4 or 5 DJs you can go listen to you some good music. Period. You don't like the way they rate our movies, then you're gonna tune in Monday and you're gonna listen to Forecast. You tired of the news and you tired of stories being omitted, what you're going to do is write down right now at HRap_B. And you're going to go to Instagram and Twitter and say, HRap, we need to talk about this, man. And then I'm going to talk about it. We ain't complaining. No more complaints, brothers and sisters. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that, man. If I find out how you can get some free money from the government, I'm going to tell you. I ain't telling nobody how to get nothing erroneous. You know what I'm saying? No nefarious activities going on here. We're going to create a community that has a 100 to 200 year plan in the future. And your great grandkids are going to benefit from it. Your great nieces and nephews are going to benefit from it. That's what we're going to do, man. Shout out to Sister Karen Hunter. Shout out to Dr. Greg Cobb. I was already on this page, but they enhanced my mind state in doing that. Shout out to Clay Clarence Sherrod. Shout out to Rilla Reed Favors. Shout out to Joe Madison, man. Enough. I need y'all to start inviting y'all friends in. And this is not about my opinions, y'all. If you disagree, disagree. It is, look, man, if you're a Muslim and I'm a Christian, that's cool. That's cool. Because guess what? We this. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, that's cool. Because we this. We this first. And who you pray to is your business. Who you lay with is your business. It's going to sound like a little different in my next segment, but this is what we're trying to get to, man. Because other communities, the dominant culture, no matter how much they hate or like the other people on the other side, they work with them. And that's what we're about to start doing, man. It don't take, and brothers and sisters, it don't take, it's 45 to 50 million of us. We ain't got to get 45, 50 million of us to do it. We can get 500,000 of us to do it to change. To change your community. If it's in Chicagoland is 9 million people. Chicago, if we got 5,000 people to rock with me, it'll make a difference. Whether you believe it or not. If it's 10,000 people in your community and 800 people did one thing. Look, I rock with this dude named Drew McCaskill. He's a crisis manager. Drew McCaskill said if black people didn't buy in other outside of their community for one day, it throws off the algorithm. So I proposed this last Saturday. I'm gonna propose this every week. I'm gonna need us as a crew, built for this network, MCDE, DJ Ramon and his crew, SWA Radio, everybody who got their ears on the 7th of every month, we're going to find some black stuff to support. On the 17th of every month, we're going to find some black stuff to support. And on the 27th of every month, we're going to find some black stuff to support. If we do that every day for a year, imagine this. That'll hurt them. And then we do the 7th and the 8th. And then we do the 17th and the 16th. Then we do the 27th and the 26th. Before you know it, we got the black dollar circulating. Our schools are getting enhanced. And then we got people getting hired because that dude at the black grocery store, he got to get another store because black people come here and rock it with me. And then now he got 2 stores. If you don't believe me, my homeboy, he sponsors the show. He sponsors the show. He got a brand called Style Gods. Style Gods. STYLEZSEGODZ. Style Gods. The man started off selling out his trunk. Then he got a store. And now he just hired my son to work for him. Because we rocking with Style God. You're going to see me rock. I got a style. I got 3 or 4 shirts. I ain't been rocking them. But I'm going to start rocking them either every Tuesday or every Saturday. You're going to see a Style God's joint. You're going to like it. I'm going to need y'all to support the homie, man. Because it's about my girl Kiana, my girl Tree, and anybody else. I don't give a damn if you got a paper route. If you got it online, you can ship a paper to somebody that needs you to hit me so we can get this thing moving. Now, with that being said, man, I got a problem with this Nas X thing. This Nas X thing is not what I'm not gonna complain about what people think, what a lot of people complain about. That's not my complaint. That's not my fight. Look, if you gay, that's your fucking business, man. But what you're not gonna do, man, as the sisters be saying, what you're not gonna do is put this in front of these young people, man. Young people are sponges. You think somebody cool, you're a dude, you think somebody cool, you might start walking like Kobe. Remember Kobe Bryant used to try to act like Michael Jordan? Because that was his hero. Nas X come out today, he got the gym shoes with the fake blood in them. And he got the devil and the 666 and the devil strike down like lightning. He got the scripture just making the devil look cool on his shoe. Nike, we ain't had nothing to do with that. He sold a shoe. He said he made $600,000 yesterday. Now he's trying to hide behind the LGBTQ gang. And look, man, if you're part of LGBTQ, look, man, don't nobody want you to be discriminated against. All right? We ain't got no beef with you in the black community. And this bullshit lie that they continue to propagate that black men got an issue with black gay dudes. No, we don't. Do your thing, man. Is there some people in my community that hate gay people? Yeah, just like there's somebody everywhere that don't like it. But guess what? By and large, all of us got a gay cousin, gay aunt, gay uncle, gay, and low key, a lot of us got gay homies. We ain't finna be like, hey man, come to the cookout. But hey, guess what? This dude in my neighborhood, he comes to the cookout. And ain't nobody really tripping on him. And then a lot of us know a gay dude. So we ain't really got no issue with gay people like that. But yeah, every time you have a problem, you're not finna run behind the LGBTQ. Oh, well, my song talks about I got lean in my belly and titties in my face. Well, your ass don't. How about this? If Prince had to rewrite Let's Go Crazy because his song was, we're not going to let the elevator break us down. We're not going to let the devil break us down. Let's go crazy with Jesus. They wouldn't let him sing that. You're not finna have no song about having heroin in your belly and titties in your face and let my kids listen to it. Because if that's the case, Channel 11, you bring the porn channel to the TV because they just expressing themselves too, right? See, now, oh, well, I had to feel bad about being gay. First of all, homie, that's a personal thing. I can't get on this podcast. I can't go on network TV and start talking about the last time I had sex. Oh, well, the last time I did. No, I can't do that because you would deem it inappropriate. So if hip-hop, if Luther Campbell had to go to jail for Me So Horny, you're going to get this off the damn TV. And then they want to pretend that they didn't know this was going on. Y'all took a piece of Nas X song and put it into a popular commercial, brainwashing the young people, letting them know this is Nas X. So then when the song comes out, now you think lean is cool? No, dope ain't cool. I don't want to hear this nonsense about, oh, you need to raise your own kids. No, it used to be standards that kids couldn't hear certain things. If that's what the parental discretion thing and Luther Campbell went to jail for. So if Luther Campbell couldn't play Me So Horny and had girls in bikinis with their booties out on national television, and I remember a debate when the Lethal Weapon movie came out, they was mad that they had what was it, a condom commercial. If we look, am I telling people to regress and become all tight in the ass and all? No, but we don't need our look. You were gay at whatever age, Nas X. Cool. But that's between you and your parents. If a 10-year-old person, we shouldn't be having 10-year-old people have conversations about sexuality in the first place. Because guess what? When I was 10, I wanted to be goddamn Spider-Man. How did that work out for me? I don't want to be Spider-Man no more. By the time I was 14, I wanted to be the Hulk, but this is another conversation. I'm just tripping. But these are things that are personal. Your sexual identity is not for the world. Oh, I was ashamed to come out. That's your business. You take that up with your parents. Guess what? Well, our kids have more information now. Our kids are smarter. No matter how smart I was at 10, I could have been the smartest kid in the history of the universe at age 10. We shouldn't have been having a conversation about sex and sexuality. Continue to be a kid. Continue to play with the Transformers. You worry about, we're going to have that conversation in the future because you don't want your 10 or 12-year-old having sex. So why are we talking about sexuality? These are personal things. Your sexuality is not a public thing, my brother. It's not. Dwayne Wade, your son thinks he's a girl. That's a conversation that you should have in your home with your children. If your son think he a girl, God bless the young dude. Well, whatever, damn it. God bless him. But you don't have to tell the world that's what's going on. Because you know what? Why ain't nobody telling everybody about their crackhead relative or they a kleptomaniac relative or they relative that's in and out of the penitentiary? Why we ain't talking about that? Since we just such an open, giving society, why we ain't talking about that? Because don't nobody want that what they consider an embarrassment in front of the world. Nas X, brother, if you gay, do your thing. But the people who 14 and under, they don't need to know about your sexuality because they still trying to figure out who they are as a person. Now, if you are a man and you 18 or 17, 16, 17, 18, let's have that conversation. But if you 10, 11, 12 years old, we don't need to talk about that. Be a kid, man. Enjoy life because this shit finna get hard. The taller you get and the more facial hair and the bigger your breasts, but the hips get, it's finna get hard. So I'm gonna need you to enjoy your youth. Period. We don't need, well, the satanic thing, that's art. No. We got grown ass men who had college experience trying to convince people the earth is flat because he saw it on YouTube. So now you're going to tell me somebody who thinks on impulse with everything like this, the devil is cool. So now you start reading into this demonic stuff and you attracting negative energy to yourself. You attracting that negative energy. Whether the devil is real or not, energy is real. A mind state is real. You are pushing this negative energy into our young people, and then you wonder why they show up at schools because nobody likes them and shoot people. Because I'm reading this, and I saw this on YouTube, and it got to be real. I had a guest on my show 2 weeks ago. Said her daughter, shout out to Candace, her daughter, my niece, my great niece, is looking at TikTok, and they saying you ain't got to go to school no more. So if this dude talking about the devil, whether it's real or not, energy is real. Negative energy is real. So that negative energy get pulled into our young people. Our young people go down the wrong path, hurt somebody, hurt himself, or hurt your ass. Then what? Oh, you should have been listening to Nas X. But no, you're right. Athletes and entertainers shouldn't be raising our kids. But when you black and everybody represents everybody, Your ass is responsible, Mr. X. And you jackasses that want to protect the LGBTQ community, look, man, I ain't got time to be hating you because who you sleeping with. That's your damn business. Whoever you kissing on and hugging on, that's your business, bruh or sister. But me and you both know we need to be teaching these kids self-pride. We need to be educating these kids about their past, telling them about their future, tell them about the obstacles that they have faced, and then when they're old enough to have a sexuality conversation, accept them for who they are and move the fuck on. Nobody got time to be hating nobody, and we don't do a lot of that, man. Like I said, all of us grew up in a neighborhood where it was a dude who was kind of different and a sister who was kind of different. And nobody said, no, 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 you like boys and you a boy. Get away from me. Oh, no, nobody did that. Now you got a couple assholes that did it, but by and large, the community was like, he different. And that was it. It was this dude. It was he was crudely called on the west side of Chicago, neighborhood I was born in. He was called Sissy Dave. He was gay. Nobody wanted to whip him. None but gangbangers, thieves, and killers in that neighborhood. And what's up, Sissy? There was another dude on the other end of the neighborhood called Papa. He was gay. He was called Papa for because he was a little different. But nobody wanted to whoop him. And that's just who they were, man. Is our vernacular a little insensitive at times? Yes. But that's because you don't know our community. I was Big Nose Brian for a long time, man. Big Head Brian for a long time. It's people to this day still call me Italian Beef Head Brian. Did it kill me? No. When they see what up, beef, what up, dog, and it's funny and ha, and we move forward. But we're not going to expose our kids to negative energy and nefarious activities and all these other. If you got something special going on inside, you need to be having conversations with your children on a regular basis. You need to know who your kids are. So when you see them acting a little different out of the way, let me talk to you. Leave that in your house. You don't need to be ashamed of nothing that you are, nothing that you got, and nothing that you participate in. But this whole conversations with 8, 9 years old about sexuality, no, sir. Because you don't even know who you are at that age. Like I said, I want to be a damn superhero. Most dudes think goddamn Batman is a career option. I'm gonna be Batman. Shit. I don't know how. I'm gonna be Batman. I'm gonna learn how to fly. Okay, but when you get older, you realize I was dumb as hell. So I don't know, man. Nas X, do your thing, man. But you're not gonna be out here poisoning our children, man, with your own nefarious. Or you want to show the world because you felt bad about being gay and you felt that you were disrespected. So now you're gonna put it on everybody. Nah, homie. Nah, you're gonna put out there. They teased me and made me feel less than a man, less than a human while I was growing up. So go fuck yourself. Nah, homie, you go fuck yourself. You ain't have no good relationship with your parents. That's your parents and your fault. You should have been able to talk to your mama, talk to your dad, talk to your grandmama. I feel different. I don't know what's going on. And if they didn't accept you, somebody would accept you. Again, this is why I keep preaching, build a community. Because sometimes, like I've had issues, me and my son, we a lot alike. We used to bump heads. Cousin Vincent was his go-to guy. If he needed something, he went to Vincent. My nephew, Lil Vince, hit me yesterday. And man, I got mad. We laughed and joked. He had to come tell me. Lil Mike, same thing. They been on me, man, when I do. Lil Mike got an excellent relationship with his dad, but he came to me. So we have to start communicating with our young people and make them feel comfortable versus labeling them and calling them these damn slurs and things of that nature, because the very same people who are so upset about these slurs, they invented them. Because we didn't invent nigga. We ain't invent Spanish people in charge. Y'all know what that's acronym. Spanish people in charge. Take the first letter of each thing. You know what I mean? We ain't invent these. We ain't invent these labels and these insulting monikers on people. Somebody else did it. It's the people who are in charge. We ain't invent WAP and Kike, and we didn't invent that. The people who call those names out invented them. And when you hear them, you feel, oh, well, we got to do something. No, you did this, you fixed it. You did it, you fix it. So, Nas, look, young brother, I don't have no problem with you being gay. I don't have no problem with you worshiping the devil and getting the devil a lap dance and talking about, since I can't get into heaven, I'm going to go to heaven, kill the devil, and take over. Knock yourself out, homie. Do your thing. But you ain't going to be exposing that to kids. Now, if we can put porn on TV, then we can do that. But we can't, because kids are not prepared to deal with pornography. Sexual intercourse in a preteen does not go together. Their mind isn't developed well enough for that. This is adult entertainment. If you're going to send this to adults, cool. But if you know kids are liking it and you know kids are rocking with you, you need to have some more self-control, or we need to get rid of you, period. And the people who disagree, God bless you too. But I'm not rocking with it. The third, the final thing of the show today. First and foremost, this is Built for This Network. This is the Thaendofdabench Podcast. I am HRap in the Late Rent Loud Music Studios. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a blast. This will be the last thing I talk about this evening. I am going to talk about what I call trauma porn. What is trauma porn? Trauma porn is this negative energy that we're getting from what we're getting on TV today. Yesterday was the first day of the Derek Chauvin trial. Please, that is not the George Floyd trial. Derek Chauvin trial. Do not call this the George Floyd trial, because George didn't do nothing but get killed. He's not on trial. They continue to show you the lynching of our brother George Floyd. The lynching of our brother George Floyd. It is not an attack. They lynched him. And if you don't understand the concept of this being a lynching, I'm sorry, because it is. Because, look, I am going to post a picture of a lynching. I'm going to post a picture of a lynching, and you will tell me, you can decide on your own, is it a difference? And I know it's not. I know it's not a difference, brothers and sisters. This thing with George Floyd, he was lynched because, and they got this on TV. This is the first trial we've seen on TV, I think, since the OJ trial. Why do they have it on TV? Because it is an unofficial episode of How to Get Away with Murder. Yeah, that's what I think it is. It is an unofficial episode of How to Get Away with Murder. If you don't believe me, I'm sorry. Because this white boy finna walk, Jack. If you don't believe it, I know it to be true, homie. I know it to be true. This dude is a piece of trash, and these attorneys are trying to turn this into what George Floyd was hopped up in drugs. George Floyd was this. George Floyd was that. And brothers and sisters, I can give less than a hot goddamn what our brother George was on, because y'all told me in social studies class and all these other classes that the reason this is a great country is because what we do is give you the opportunity to be innocent until proven guilty. Cool. This dude Chauvin needs a trial. I ain't mad at you. But what you're not going to do is this, y'all. Y'all not going to tell me about how this isn't a lynching. You will see exactly what I mean in a few minutes as I upload this picture. These people are showing you what I consider trauma porn. And they are getting off by letting you see another one of your brothers and sisters get destroyed in these streets by one of their race soldiers, aka the police. And what they're going to do is let him get away. And it is a warning to you. If you don't want to die, y'all gonna act right. Act right, or we gonna get you right. You don't have to believe me, and I understand, because it's difficult to believe that the United States federal government is thinking what HRap is saying. But I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters, there's no other way to think about this. This dude choked a man out in public. He choked a man out, and now what they are doing is having a video. First of all, they start off the trial by showing our brother get choked out in the street. They are showing our brother get choked out in these streets, right? When he gets choked out in these streets, then what happens? They have a trial and they have him get off. And when he gets off, it is subliminally telling you, I got MC Von Don in the building, much love, brother. They're showing you that this is nefarious. This is just politics as usual. And if you don't believe me, if it ain't politics as usual, explain this picture that I'm about to post up, y'all. That's all you got to do. If it ain't politics as usual, please explain this picture to me. Because, hey, man, I don't know everything. I haven't been exposed to everything in the history of the world. I don't know it all, but I know what I know. And I know that this dude, please explain to me the difference in these two situations. Y'all tell me. I mean, it's just a situation to whereas, hey man, it's outrageous to me. And we can do this and we can continue to pretend that this isn't what's going on, but this is what's going on. This is what we're dealing with every day, y'all. We are dealing with this every day of our lives. And I got it almost pulled up. This is 1 second. I am going to turn off. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off my. If you guys see different in that, then I don't know. I don't know. But me personally, all three of those things are lynchings. Crime. He should be charged with a hate crime and he should go to jail for the rest of his natural life. But we're not talking about that, brothers and sisters. We're not. We're talking about if he's going to get away and if he's going to go home and if this and if that. Meanwhile, this dude has lynched one of our brothers and got away with it. Period. That's it. He has lynched one of our brothers and gotten away with it. Oh man, this is bogus. This is that. Nah, it ain't bogus. It's politics as usual, y'all. So we don't want to. Well, reason I brought this up is I don't want y'all watching this every day because you become desensitized to it. I don't want y'all to look at this any different way because our brother George, we are going. What you know how George gonna get justice in the United States of America. George gonna get justice in the United States of America because we are going to get. We're gonna straighten up and fly right. We're gonna start opening businesses. We're gonna support each other, and we're gonna make our community great again. How ironic. We're gonna make our community dope. Seriously. We're gonna support each other, man. We're gonna stop talking about it and be about it. And we're going to make our community full of awesome people with awesome children and just we're gonna make the black community what it used to be. That's what we're gonna do. And I ain't trying to hear it no more. I'm just saying, man. Lynching, public spectacle. Exactly. My man Wilkes, man. But with that being said, man, I want to thank y'all. And again, man, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope it was informative. I hope it was inspirational. If not, I'm gonna be back Saturday with the same get down with an even different mix to this because it never stops. It never stops. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in on YouTube and on Spreaker.com. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Built for This Network on Spreaker.com. I want you to subscribe to The End of the Bench on YouTube. I want you to subscribe to everything, man. Hit the like button. It's very important that my brothers and sisters hit the like button, because when you hit the like button, you put me in the mix. So with that being said, I want to send peace and blessings to my man DJ Mad Knox. I want to send peace and blessing to his mom, who's not in the best health. I want to send peace and blessings to my brother RC. I want to send peace and blessings to my brother Deacon Dale. I want to send peace and blessings to anybody out there whose parents, friends, family, relatives, neighbors, cousins, whatever. If you're not doing it good, doing well, I want to send peace and blessings to you, positive energy to you. And that's it, man. Y'all know how I end every show. I say thank you to all of y'all. Please hit that subscribe button. Hit that alert button, too. It's a bell right next to the subscribe. Hit that button. And then when you hit that button, what happens is you get reminded that the show going to come on. Every tomorrow, maybe we'll have Big Illinois, DJ Mad Knox. We don't know when Big DJ Mad Knox coming back on, but me and Chief Rock gonna hold it down. DJ Purplicious Thursday, Big Illinois tomorrow on Thursday night. Saturday, Big Illinois tomorrow night, the Jaw Jackers. Sunday, I'm on Monday with my main man Ben for VS3, my main man Ivan and Big Wilkes. We the forecast. The Jaw Jackers with my man Dorian. He's a new member of the Jaw Jackers. I got my man TC and my man Rob Orr. Tune in, man. We just trying, look, we having conversations. These are conversations that's going to enhance our community. Reach out to me, man, on Instagram. Send me a link. Reach out to me on Facebook at Brian D. Williams. Drop a link in my inbox if you want me to cut your support. I will. Even if I'm busy, I'll turn your show on my iPad and let it play, man. If I'm busy, I'm here to support each and every somebody. That's somebody. With that being said, I have to salute first of all, I'm going to send respects to Cameron Hunter, send respects to Dr. Greg Carr, Joe Madison, Larry Favors, and Clay Thompson. I want to send respects to my man Craig from Craig Facts, man. You dope brother, Dewan from Hotep Ish, Corey Holcomb, 5150, Zoe Williams from So What, and even the homie Ray Grady from Alphabet. And I want to send rest in peace and thank you to the ancestor Reggie O'Shea, aka Combat Jack, in which I took this from him: dream your dreams and man up and woman up and live your dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white, and life with dreams flows in technicolor and surround sound. And I got this from my man Craig Facts. Good evening, everybody. If I owe you something, I ain't got it. If you need it, get it from God. And if you don't like my show,
shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.